Guys, welcome. Sports with Life podcast, episode number 82. I want to apologize first off because I lost track of time last week. Lost track of my days. With the holidays, I had coronavirus. I was like, on Friday, I was like, I'll record the podcast tonight and then put it out tomorrow morning, thinking it was Thursday. And I was wrong. But then I was like, I'm just not going to do it. It's going to be too late. But I'm back. I'm back after an amazing weekend of sports. Some football. What else happened? Basketball, of course, happened. Nuggets on the rise again. I think they're at 500, if not a game above 500 now. What else? Obviously playoff football. The championship literally just got over. It's 10 o'clock Mountain Time, my time. The NCAA championship, college football championship. The final just got over, and Alabama just blew Ohio State out of the water. We'll talk about that here in a second. If you can't tell by the way I'm dressed, if you're watching on YouTube, Oklahoma beanie, Oklahoma shirts. I'm talking about the one and only Baker Mayfield today. Baker Mayfield, the Cleveland Browns. And what a story, right? I mean, they held one practice maybe all weekend. I don't think they did practice all weekend, all week. They were out a few players. They had a player that Baker Mayfield said he literally met that morning, play in the game. He had to play. He drove 6.5 hours from New Jersey or something like that to Pittsburgh. And he had to play because they were out. I can't remember the lineman. He is like, I want to say, I can't remember his name. Doesn't even matter now. But they were out of lineman, and then a couple linemen got hurt during the game, so he had to come in, and he had to save the day. Kept Baker safe. Crazy. They're doing this without OBJ, without Kevin Stefanski, as their head coach. He had to watch it from the game. Poor guy. Imagine how it is watching your team play. You know, you can't communicate. You can't see this. You can't say this. I don't know if they can communicate. I don't know what the protocols were. You're just sitting there on your edge, and all of a sudden, it's 21-0. It's 28-0. And you're like, whoa, Jesus. I mean, what's going on through his head? It's like, do they need me after all? Am I going to lose my job? I mean, that's what's going on in my head. I mean, you know what? If I was Kevin Stefanski, if there's a camera there, you know what I'd be doing? Corvette, bitch. I'd be fucking bunny hopping, TikToking. The Browns proved what I was saying all along, and not just me. I mean, everyone was questioning this team. They were 11-0 at one point, and still everyone's like, "Yeah, I don't think they're gonna go 16-0." Yeah, I don't think. I mean, just watching them, I'm just like, they're very questionable. They struggled against the Jets. They struggled against the Cowboys. They struggled against a bunch of other teams. They barely beat the Broncos early in the season. That was a deflated team there. I mean, they beat the Texans. That's not. I mean, they had Bill O'Brien. They beat Bill O'Brien's Texans. Who else did they play? They beat Bill O'Brien's. They lost to the Bengals. The Bills beat the brakes off of them. They played a lot of weak teams. I think it was the second easiest schedule all year behind the Redskins, which we'll talk about them here pretty soon. But a very questionable 12-4 team. Very, very questionable. I mean, you were never. I don't think anyone was really sold on the Steelers unless you were Steelers fans. Even then, I think there's got to be a portion of them where they're like, ugh, kind of scared. But let's. The Browns did amazing. I think the Browns did well, especially when they had the ball during offense. But let's be real. Let's be real. Ben Roethlisberger threw 4 picks. They fumbled the ball. I mean, it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad on Ben Roethlisberger's part, which could be his last game ever. It was a bad showing. the Browns did let him in the game in the second, third quarter. But then fourth quarter just kind of went downhill. Nick Chubb scored. I think like another pick six or another pick getting returned. It was a bad look for the Steelers. And not to mention the bulletin board material. Is that what they call it? The whiteboard material? Juju Smith said these Browns is going to be the Browns. Same old Browns I've been playing ever since I've been here. Newsflash, they are not the same old Browns. Browns team that went 11-5. Beat some tough teams. Granted, they buckled a couple times. But I mean, it's a good team effort. People should be watching this, be inspired. This is a good team doing this as a team. I mean, look what happened when OBJ got hurt. I mean, hopefully he tore his ACL. I mean, that was kind of a turning point there, because now they're not forcing a majority of those passes to OBJ. They could dump it off to Nick Chubb when he's healthy. Kareem Hunt is there, and then you have Donovan Peoples-Jones pulling up his weight. You have Njoku coming back from injury. You have Austin Hooper, who they paid a lot of money for. Jarvis Landry, showing he's a veteran. I mean, who else? Rashard Higgins, which is from down here, CSU, Fort Collins. They're spreading the ball out. And Stefanski, I mean, they built a good relationship. This team has built a good relationship, good rapport, good chemistry. And notice how they're doing this without OBJ. I mean, I've said that. I think OBJ might be an issue here. I think so. But it's a good story. I mean, the first playoff win in 25 years? Is that what it was? Like 25, 26 years or something like that. Since Bill Belichick was a coach, which is pretty crazy, right? Notice Bill Belichick isn't in the playoffs. The Browns make it. It's kind of crazy, right? 2020, 2021. I mean, yeah, I just like seeing these things. I just love it. It was good to see. It was good to see because I know, obviously, you guys know I'm a big Baker guy. I'm a Baker Mayfield guy. Obviously, I have two of his jerseys. But this should serve as some sort of inspiration for any of your kids, anybody sitting there and looking. I mean, I'm going to repeat myself again. 2-time walk-on to Texas Tech, transferred from Texas Tech, walked on to Oklahoma. At the time, literally the year after Trevor Knight just lit up Alabama in the Sugar Bowl, I believe is what it was. Just lit up Alabama in the Sugar Bowl. He's like, hey, I'm Baker Mayfield. I'm going to try for the team. And he's like, okay. He comes on and just starts tearing it up. Walks on to Oklahoma, becomes the number one quarterback there. Gets that comeback win against Tennessee, which I walked out in because I was just disgusted by that team. And they came back and won. And it was a funny story. I'll tell for another time. I'm sure I've told it before, but comes on. Not to mention, wins the Heisman as a walk-on. One of the first people to ever do that. And then goes on, becomes the number one pick. And now, within 3 seasons, I mean, what gives him... I mean, what, they didn't win, more than 2 games in 2 or 3 years. Took them 7-9, I think did 7-9 or 88 the year next year. And then this year, 11-5, into the playoffs. Win the first playoff games against a division rival. I mean, what more can you ask for? I mean, I would love for my kid to be a Baker Mayfield. I mean, a lot of that stuff you just can't teach. And he's undersized. He's not a big guy, 6 foot. Throwing darts. I mean, there's something you just can't teach. You got to learn on your own. And I don't think people like that. Colin Cowherd, Rex Ryan, Stephen A. Smith, suck my dick. Look at these bumps. Just counting them out. Oh, they got no shot against Pittsburgh. Oh, he can't do this. He can't do that. Oh, he's wearing his hat backwards. Give me a break. Suck my dick. guys ever watch that part in Hangover at the end when is it Stu? Yeah, Stu's wife is meeting is meeting Zach Galifianakis. I can't remember his name in there. And she goes, "Hey, nice to meet you." And she goes, "Suck my dick," or something like that. The way she says it is fucking hilarious. Go watch it. Anyways, it's great. It's great to see. I just love it. I love it. And I will sit here and talk about Baker Mayfield all day. I'll talk about the Browns all day. I love what they're doing. I'm about to go buy my Baker Mayfield Browns jersey. I'm going to go sign up for Allstate or whatever he, what is it, commercials he does? Allstate or, I can't remember. It's not Allstate. It doesn't matter. I'm going to go get some JBLs because of him, all that. But yeah, it's great to see. This is a good team. People should be watching this team and be like, yeah, they got it together. But they have to play the Chiefs next. We'll talk about that. And I assure you, I will be back later this week to preview these games instead of just leaving you guys in limbo. I apologize, dude. I seriously don't know what happened. I lost track of my days. It was ridiculous. I couldn't believe it. Colts Bills games was also on Saturday. That was a really good game. Could be Phillip Rivers' last game as well. I mean, I think Rivers and Roethlisberger were in the same draft, if I'm not mistaken. That was Josh Allen played well. Diggs played well. Knox made that good catch. I mean, defense played well. I mean, just the Bills, man. That's another team coming back from obscurity, coming back from just, out of the shadows of the New England Patriots. No Tom Brady within the division. So a depleted Patriots team, it means they won the division. They end the playoffs. They beat the Colts. I mean, the Colts just they weren't firing on all. I mean, it just looked bad. That game was kind of sloppy, very, very, very cagey, as they would say. I liked the game, but the Bills were just too much, and they always were going to be. I mean, Josh Allen's had almost damn near an MVP year. If it wasn't for Aaron Rodgers throwing all these darts, all these bombs to Devontae Adams, I mean, in the snow. Who knows? We've been talking about Josh Allen right now as the MVP. Is what it is. But it was great. It's good to see these teams. I mean, who else we have? I mean, also had the Washington football team versus the Buccaneers. I mean, when's the last time Buccaneers have been in this type of position? When's the last time Washington's been in this position? They won their division. They come in here, they're in the playoffs, but they have a backup quarterback. What is this? Probably their fifth quarterback of the year? Let me see. Haskins, Smith, Allen, Heinke. I'm missing somebody. I don't remember. Yeah, but this is like their fourth, maybe fifth, fourth or fifth quarterback of the year. And Heinke came out here and balled. Was injured. Throwing dimers on top of dimers. I mean, let me see his numbers here. I'm giving props where props is due because he had good numbers, Let me see here. I'm going to check the scoreboard here. I hope you guys all had a good weekend. I hope all you guys have had a good week, really. I mean, hopefully 2021 is a little bit better year for you guys. I hope it's starting out okay. I hope you guys, I just hope everything's going great. For us here on this end, like I said, I had coronavirus. I'm done. For some reason, my brother didn't have it. My brother-in-law doesn't have it. My baby niece had it, but she's a G. She's back to school already. She's a G. She beat it. My sister's still kind of struggling, and my mom's struggling. So hopefully we get it through this scot-free. Hopefully we get this okay. No complications. Hope we're all okay. So just send your prayers, goodwill wishes to myself. Pass them off to my mom and my sister. But I think we're gonna be scot-free. Hopefully. This is a stupid virus. We all hate it. Everyone hates it. It's not fake. It's not something to be playing with. Wear your mask. It's not that fucking hard to wear your masks. Seriously, not that hard. All right. Anyways, Buccaneers. Box score. Heinke. Old T. Heinke. 26 of 44, over 300 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Got sacked a couple times, but I think that 1 touchdown was a rushing touchdown, right? Yeah. No. Yes. It was a rushing touchdown. The other one was by J.D. McKissick. And Sims Jr. caught one. Wait a minute. No, yeah. Okay, never mind. I read that wrong. Yeah. But I mean, they brought it 23-31. Buccaneers come away with the dub. They didn't give up. And that's the team I've talked about the last couple of times is the Washington Red football team. Ron Rivera beating cancer, having to kick out his first round pick. Well, not his first round pick, but the team's first round pick, saying you're done here, you're trash, you're not going to be here anymore. Chase Young stepping up. I mean, all these guys stepping up. All these young guys. Antonio Gibson stepping up. McKissick. Obviously Heinke. Alex Smith coming back. Scary Terry McLaurin. All these guys, Sims, stepping up to get to where they need to be. They did what they're supposed to do to get to where they need to be, and they should be proud of that. They should be proud of that. And they need to build off of this, what they definitely will. We'll see what happens. I mean, Buccaneers, they weren't like too, like there was nothing about that team I saw. And there's something weird about this team that I can sit there and watch them and I'm like, hey, I'm not that impressed. I think, was it the rushing? Like, they had one, what did they have? I mean, the rushing wasn't that great. I mean, no one broke over 100. Leonard Fournette rushed 19 times for 93 yards. I mean, he hasn't been what Leonard Fournette was supposed to be coming out wherever he came out of LSU. I mean, I was never impressed with him either. There was nothing that impressive with Leonard Fournette. Not at Jacksonville. For me, not at LSU either. I mean, he didn't blow me away. Nothing screamed, oh, he's going to be a G in NFL. I just, whatever. But it doesn't matter. I mean, the Bucs are in. They found out a way to win. Let me see the defense here. They didn't fumble. The Redskins did not fumble. But the Buccaneers fumbled twice. And they lost one. I think this game should have gone a different way. But whatever. It is what it is. Y'all know that's my motto. Is what it is. IWI. Yeah, congratulations to the football team. I'm mad props to them for just everything from top to bottom. The name change, Ron Rivera, getting cancer, getting treatments during games, trying to manage a football team, trying to manage these young men, people stepping up, people stepping out, people getting kicked out, and winning their division and making the playoffs. I mean, they did what they're supposed to do. They did what they were set out to do. Hopefully they can build on this. Hopefully next year's a little bit different. Because next year, well, that division's going to look a little bit different because Doug Peterson got fired today. Let's talk about that real quick. Doug Peterson got fired today, and I didn't get a chance to talk about this the other day because I forgot. Doug Peterson was flat out quit on his team. I mean, the fact that it took him over a week to do this, it was kind of a shame. If it was I'm not going to go there. But let's just be honest. I mean, it should have happened earlier. He blatantly quit on that team. I mean, it was very obvious who the number one quarterback was and who played better. It was Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts played better. Carson Wentz was horrible. Just bad all year. Don't know what it was. Don't know if it was COVID, family thing, whatever it was. But he wasn't good. And Jalen Hurts came in, filled in very, very well. I mean, he's a rookie. He's going to make mistakes, but definitely showed he was better. He gave a different look to that offense. But now, who knows what's going to happen? Carson Wentz wanted a trade if Doug Peterson was going to be around. I don't want to be around that. But, I mean, Jalen Hurts kind of showed his cards. He showed that he was a better quarterback and he could be trusted. Who knows what happens? Who knows who's going to step in? A lot of vacancies. What is it? Is it Miami? No, it's Jacksonville, Los Angeles Chargers, the Jets. Who else? I'm trying to do this off the top of my head. Hold on. Everyone chill out. Everyone shut up. Texans. The Texans. Who else? It's not the Bengals, no. It's four. I think there's two more. It's not Atlanta, is it? Is it Atlanta? Is Atlanta another one? Anyways, it just does not matter, but I mean, who knows? Who knows what happens? I mean, that sucks because it sucks for someone like Jalen Hurts because now kind of an uncertainty, right? Kind of. We'll see. I mean, Wentz just wasn't it, fam. Just was not it. But Peterson getting fired should have happened quicker. I think I saw Peterson. Peterson knew he was going to get fired, so he went and signed up for head of security at the Capitol. And, well, we all know why they all got in that easy. Just gave up on them, too. You know how long I've been trying to say that shit? For like a week now. And I think I just bombed. But whatever. I wanted to say it, and I said it. I'll come up with more funny shit. I'm tired. It's 10:30 at night here. But I wanted to get this done because in the morning, Tuesday morning, you guys are going to see this. And hopefully it makes you laugh that I fucked up. You guys going to see this. You guys going to listen to this. Whatever. Doesn't matter. But yeah, Doug Peterson's dunzo. Should have happened quicker. Anyways, Seahawks, Rams, a little bit sloppy. DK threw a little tantrum there. I want to talk about that. I mean, it's second year in, throwing little tantrums. I mean, I've never gotten that. I never got, like, what does that do? What does a throwing a tantrum do? I mean, you got a veteran quarterback. Like, he didn't walk up to Russ and be like, hey, what are you doing? No, he's just throwing a little tantrum, throwing his helmet for whatever reason. They were throwing the ball to him. He's playing like shit. I mean, he got 2 touchdowns. I mean, but did he do enough to help? There that pick 6 that happened that Russ threw. Him and I don't know who else was there. It was just bad, and he just split them, and boom, he was gone. It wasn't Ramsey. I don't know who picked 6 it, but offensive line did not block for the Seahawks. Aaron Donald and the defensive line. That defense, LA Rams defense, was very, very well. And then not to mention, Wolford got hurt early in the game, and Jeff Goff. What did I call him? Goff? What's his name? Why am I Goff? Jared Goff. Jared Goff had to come in with no thumb and on his throwing hand and throw darts, and he had to do it. I mean, like, some of those passes were just touches. Like, you could tell, like, the way he threw it. Like, they were lofters, but the wide receivers were wide open. So, good job, Sean McVay, coming with the game plan. They ran the ball. They had to run the ball. And Cam Akers ran right down their throat. Right down that defense's throat. And Cam Akers is the MVP of that game. MVP of that game. If it wasn't for Cam Akers, they'd have won that game. He ran. He caught. He blocked. The dude did everything. Played very, very well. That's what you need. That's what people wanted out of Leonard Fournette. That's what people wanted out of Le'Veon Bell and the Jets. By the way, someone said, oh, Ben Roethlisberger doesn't have AB and Le'Veon Bell, and Luke is still in the playoffs. Okay, let's get something straight here. Le'Veon Bell didn't join that team till, I don't even know, like late in the season. Antonio Brown didn't join this team till late in the season. So let's get something straight here. Ben Roethlisberger played the whole year. Don't say that shit. Don't say that. Those two individuals are toxic. There's nothing, I mean, if it wasn't for someone like Clyde Edgar-Helaire, I call him Clyde Edgar-Helaire because it has my name, Clyde Edward-Helaire, they wouldn't be in this position. Le'Veon Bell wasn't the dude to put him in this position. Clyde Edwards-Helaire took the brunt of it, and now he's hurt. He can't play. So now Le'Veon Bell stepping up to play because he's obviously the right choice to step up there as a number one running back. No Damian Williams. So, but if Damian Williams is around, I don't think Le'Veon Bell would be on the Chiefs team. Facts. Antonio Brown's trash. He's got like 2 touchdowns and he's been there, so. And one of them was like trash. Did he catch one this weekend? I can't remember. One of them like trash can time. So, anyways. Jared Goff and the Rams did what they're supposed to do, is what it is. I had to throw that out there. But now they have to play the Packers. We're going to preview that later that week. The mighty Packers, Aaron Rodgers, Lambeau Field. Is it going to be cold? Is it going to be snowing? Is Sunshine Jared Goff, a.k.a. Ryan Gosling, going to be ready for that? I don't know. Without a thumb. You know he's got to be hurting. You know they're going to give him a couple cortisones, maybe a couple painkillers. You know he's got to be hurting. 12 days, breaking your finger, 12 days after surgery. It can't feel good. He's probably not even healed up all the way. Ravens, Titans was kind of a sloppy game. I mean, looked early. I was like, well, Titans got this locked. I don't want to watch it anymore. And the Ravens just kind of tore it up. Ravens defense played very, very well. They contained Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry won the rush for over 2,000 yards this year. By the way, none of his offensive linemen made the Pro Bowl. That says something. But rushed for 2,000 yards. And the Ravens came through with a good game plan. Stopped the run. That's what they needed to stop. The passing wasn't there. Everyone was balling the F out. I'm trying not to cuss anymore. Lamar Jackson was balling. They couldn't contain Lamar Jackson. Gus Edwards is balling. J.K. Dobbins is balling. Marquise Brown was balling. Mark Andrews caught a couple. Mark Andrews was pretty quiet this year, I think. Ain't he? Let me take a look here. Hold on. Everyone chill out. I want to see Mark Andrews' number real quick before we get rolling. Mark Andrews, 4 receptions for 41 yards. Right here. 7 touchdowns. He's fumbled twice. 58 receptions. 701 yards. So not over 1,000. I mean, but he's a tight end. We gotta come slack, but he did ball out the year before, right? Didn't he? Balled out better than that, I think, the year before. Not an all-star, but from Oklahoma. You know who else is a Pro Bowler from Oklahoma? Orlando Brown Jr. on the right tackle, I believe. I mean, just in our DNA, Jazz. Jalen Hurts. I'm saying Baker. Just I throw that out there every chance I get. Ravens, but I didn't like that game. It was like weird. And who else? Oh, yeah, the Saints and Bears. Only good thing about that was that it was on Nickelodeon, and you had like people were like there was like it was like DX. Remember that episode of DX when DX took over Raw, like late 90s, early 2000s, and like they were drawing chickens and cocks and changing voices. Like that's what it reminded me. Like the Saints Bears game was low scoring, kind of boring. But yeah, they had like SpongeBob, they had slime. Sean Payton got slimed after they won. Yeah, it was very underwhelming for me anyways, but whatever. I had fun watching football all weekend. I mean, you gotta savor it because you got 2 more weeks. There's gonna be 4 games next week, 2 games a week after that, and then the Super Bowl. And then that's it. No XFL probably till next year. XFL was pretty fun around this time last year, right? Gotta savor it. No more college football because college football championship just got over. Alabama just blew Ohio State out of the water, and I mean, it wasn't good. And everyone was just falling. Justin Fields was hurt. Took that shot against Clemson. I don't think never really recovered. I don't know what it was, but it looked pretty bad because he got hurt again today. No Trey Sermon, who was a good security blanket for Justin Fields. Trey Sermon ran the ball very, very well against Clemson, ran the ball all year. By the way, Trey Sermon transferred from Oklahoma to Ohio State. And imagine that, though. This season never almost didn't happen. Just almost did not happen. But it did. In November. It was October. Imagine that, transferring from Oklahoma. And then you're like, well, I'm going to transfer because blah, blah, blah. And then your season doesn't happen. Like, imagine how you would feel. How would that feel? Pretty crappy, right? But yeah, I mean, Devonta Smith, all he had to play was a half of football and made a big, big difference. Balling out of control. Mac Jones got hurt too, but he was still limping around. They're really dropping receivers there left and right, but it's Alabama. They're stacked everywhere. Everywhere they're stacked. It started out as a really good game. Going back and forth. Second quarter, changed the tone. I mean, but Justin Fields, smooth, man. I like Justin Fields. Mac Jones plays very, very well. Tough kid. Obviously, Heisman runner-up. Devonta Smith is really good. Newsflash, he's really good. He's vicious. Devonta Smith is vicious. Can the Broncos give Alabama Jerry Jeudy back and then we could take Devonta Smith? Is that a possibility? Just don't know if it is. Hopefully that fool can turn his shit around and catch some passes next year. Don't worry about the cardio. Cardio will come. I mean, there's not much to talk about that championship game, right? It was just all Alabama. Just another trophy for Nick Saban. Man. Just a beat down. Hopefully next year's a little bit different, a little bit more competitive, different teams, because Trevor Lawrence, which didn't talk about last time, declared for the draft. He won't be there. Justin Fields probably would do the same thing. Mac Jones probably do the same thing. So I think we'll see a different league. Yeah. I mean, who knows? Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen, because I mean, we're still not at full strength as a country. We still have to swear in a new president. We still have to get a lot more vaccines. We still have to get on the same page. You know what I'm saying? Get on the same page as human beings, as Americans. Obviously, we're not, given what happened last week. There's a lot of uncertainties surrounding us as Americans. Because, I sit here and how ungrateful a lot of Americans are that all these years a proven system that has worked, unfortunately, and not for the better, but has done its job. For us to a democracy, that for us to select a president, all of a sudden failed. Some of you, and I sit here and I say how ungrateful those people that stormed the Capitol, just how stupid we looked as a country to everyone else, to where a lot of people look up to us. We just looked very, very dumb. Those are facts. And but I sit here and I look, watch the college football championship. These kids put it on their line. These kids had to wake up every day and get tested every day just to play the game they love. And a lot of these teams, there's a lot of people out because of coronavirus, because of COVID-19 restrictions, COVID-19 quarantines for Ohio State, for both sides of the team, for a lot of people throughout the whole season. And these kids continued. And on top of that, they still have to get their education. And I sit here and see these bums storming the Capitol. And I'm just like, wow, how bummy do we look? And we just look bummy. And I feel bad for these kids. I feel bad for those people's kids. I mean, I'm very fortunate in the sense that right now I don't have a kid. Because how would I have to explain this to them? How would I explain that these people that look like our neighbors have those same flags hanging outside their houses, why they are storming the Capitol, breaking those windows. Why are they chasing that police officer through that hallway? Why are people yelling? Why are people screaming? Why do they want these people killed? Like, what do they do? So many questions have to be asked and answered. I mean, what do you tell your kids? And then there's kids like these guys playing in the football. I totally forgot. I mean, everything got drowned out. I totally forgot there was a championship game today. Until I woke up this morning and I was like, oh shit, there's a championship game this day. I mean, everything else is taking precedent. Football NFL playoffs took precedent. There's some soccer this week in FA Cup. I wanted to talk about that. I don't think I'll be able to talk about that. Talk about how Crowley Town beat Leeds United 3-0. If you haven't heard about that, look it up, and it's a big deal, especially in the FA Cup. FA Cup is very similar to the Championship college football in the sense where a small team can play a big team, and upsets like this happen in these type of tournaments. But instead, we're talking about people storming the Capitol because of one person. I mean, one person they hold so high on a pedestal that they want to kill for. I mean, think about that. For what? And a lot of these guys went over there and they're like, well, look at me. I'm taking pictures here. I'm taking pictures there. We're now arrested, held in jail, on a no-fly list, treated as terrorists. What, is it worth it? Is it worth it? People got injured. People died. Lady got shot point blank. Not to mention a lady who served this country 14 years, I believe, as an Air Force woman. I mean, where have we gone? I'm just so confused. How did we get here? I mean, it's obvious where we got here. I mean, I've talked about this before. This is the last time. I don't want to talk about this again. I don't want to be political on this thing. But we have to talk about this. It's an embarrassment to this country. You're an embarrassment for following this person. It's very embarrassing for you to sit here and ever try to compare what happened in the Capitol to any Black Lives Matter protests. This is a different type of violence. And I guess Blue Lives didn't matter when you guys stormed the Capitol. A cop lost his life. They didn't give a shit. Blue Lives only mattered when Blue Lives shot black people. It doesn't matter when our president says, storm the Capitol and we're going to take heads. It just didn't, those lives did not matter. Nobody's lives mattered. I'm just embarrassed. It's just very embarrassing. But I'm glad that sports happened this weekend because I was able to be distracted from all this. I was able to watch football, soccer, basketball. I was able to be distracted. But yeah, hopefully we turn this around. Hopefully 2021, we all can get on the same page. And hopefully we can all reconvene and hate the Patriots later. Hate the Raiders together. Without any Trump flags around. You know what I'm saying? But that's it, man. That's all I have. Just wanted to get that off my chest. I didn't want to. It's kind of impromptu. I didn't even think about talking about this, but we had to talk about it. That's it. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I appreciate you guys sharing. Those of you guys who have shared. Those of you guys who reached out to me asking if I'm okay about coronavirus. If I need anything, I really appreciate it. But yeah, I love you guys. Follow me, Sports Plus Life, Instagram and Twitter, MRAKA, Instagram and Twitter, YouTube.com/Sports Plus Life. Follow me. Say what's up, man. I'm heavy. I got my phone on me all day, 24/7. Stay strapped. I love you guys. Take care of yourselves. And I will catch you guys next time on Sports Plus Life Podcast, episode number 83. Holla at your boy.